Hey goodies, if you are new here, my name is Marilyn and I'm bringing you all things beauty, fashion, lifestyle, a little bit of fragrance. So if you like that kind of stuff, go ahead and subscribe. Alright, so in today's video we have a makeup tutorial on this look, and this look was inspired by this pretty little thing right here. Okay, this is Paris Corner's Blush Marshmallow perfume that I have been so obsessed with. I have literally 2 reviews on my channel, one a first impression and then an updated video just to update you on how the performance of this fragrance is. But if you've never heard of this, this is, I would say it's a dupe to Kayali Yum Bougie Marshmallow. However, this is better. So think dupe, but think better. It has notes, I'll pop the exact notes up on the screen, but this has notes of raspberry, lemon, strawberry. There's some marshmallow, whipped cream, just a yummy, fluffy fragrance. It smells a little bit like a strawberry marshmallow shake. In the dry down, it's very long lasting. The opening notes are pretty fruity. You have a lot of the raspberry and the lemon that comes through at the beginning, but when it dries down, it's a fluffy, very addictive, creamy strawberry marshmallow scent. And this is what, and this goes on record, okay, this is what Yum Bougie Marshmallow wanted to be so bad. But Blush Marshmallow by Paris Corner, yeah. And it lasts longer on the skin, yeah. So I wanted to do a look just in time for Valentine's Day inspired by this perfume. This was actually on my, if you didn't get to catch it, I have a top 5 affordable fragrances that are good for date night, specifically for Valentine's Day that's coming up, any date night, but you know, the biggest date night of them all is coming up, which is Valentine's Day, and this was on that list mixed with another fragrance. So be sure to check that out. I'll make sure I link it down in the description. But this is a very fancy, girly, pink, cute Valentine's Day look that I came up with because I just wanted to smell like what this, I wanted to look like what this smells like, which is pink, girly, fluffy, and just literally gorgeous. Only a gorgeous girl is going to want to wear this. So stay tuned for the tutorial. If you like this look, keep watching. Let's dive right into it. I'm mixing 2 foundations. One is a matte, which is the one size, and the other one is a satin finish. It's the Best Skin Ever by the Sephora collection. One is neutral, the other is warm, and I'm mixing them to get the perfect look. Mixing your foundations is kind of fun. You can get like the perfect finish, the perfect undertone. So yeah, I do that often. So I'm just placing it on my face, and then I'll go ahead and blend everything out once I place it. So this is a really dense brush. It's by Real Techniques. I got it in a set from Ulta. I think it was a holiday set, but I really do love it. It's very soft and it blends out foundation or cream products very easily. So I absolutely love it. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep blending that out until it's enough coverage for me. By the time I'm done blending everything, it's not completely full coverage, but it's like that perfect coverage where you don't look too masky, you know? So yeah. Blending is the name of the game. You just blend until your heart says, girl, blend no more. Okay. So once we're done with that, of course, we're going to go ahead and grab our concealer, which I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills in the shade 19. It's a very full coverage concealer, pretty thick. And I'm going to place that on the inner corners of my eye and also on the outer corners to give myself a little bit of a lift. And with concealers that are thick and very full coverage, when I blend it out, I really do enjoy using a damp beauty sponge to blend out very thick concealers. When it comes to that thin serum, more natural concealer, that's when I love to grab a brush. So we're going to give the concealer a little bit of time to sit, and while it does that, I'll just go in and fill in my brows. And then once we've filled in the brows, I'm not doing anything too crazy. I'm using the Essence eyebrow pencil just to fill in the sparse areas and make it look a little bit more complete and clean. And we're grabbing that same concealer and carving out the brows. I go right under the arch and then highlight that area. And once we have done that, of course, we're going to go ahead and blend it out. I do grab a little bit of the concealer and sort of bring it down the eyelid because I do use it as primer. I don't typically buy primer, but the concealer to me does a good job being a primer. So I'm going to use a blending brush just to blend out that concealer. So we're still carving out the eyebrows. I'm going to go over the top of the eyebrow and then blend upward with that lighter concealer. Just watching myself do my makeup, I look really mean just, sitting there. But I'm not. Y'all know I'm not. So I'm going to go ahead and blend out the concealer with my damp beauty sponge. This is a Real Technique sponge. It's actually my favorite sponge. It does a really great job soaking up any excess product and smoothing out the under eye and blending quickly. I feel like whenever you do your concealer step, it completely changes the look. It completely changes you. You can really see the look sort of coming through once that concealer is laid. Yeah, that's when I feel alive. So I'm just going to finish blending it out with the beauty sponge, and I'm going to pop a little bit of concealer on my eyelid. Like I said, I do use that as primer, so we're going to pop just a dot here and there and blend it out the very same way with the beauty sponge. Later on in the look, I am going to use a brighter concealer on the inner corner, but for now, we're going to move right into blush. This is the Morphe Hot Shot blush in the shade Fireball. Just a nice pink shade. It's a water-based blush, so it has a nice natural finish that I love. A pink blush is absolutely perfect for this look, of course, because the blush Marshmallow fragrance really just reminds me of the color pink. Fluffy, girly, sweet. You know the vibes, okay? So of course we gotta add a pink blush to the cheek. It's gonna give a youthful, fluffy, and just a pretty and pink look. So I am keeping the blush pretty high up because it does give you a lifted look, and that is the look I'm going for, girl. Lifted. So I'm just gonna keep on continuing to blend it. The formula of this blush really does blend pretty easily, and I love the finish. It's just a natural flush of color, and of course I'm going in with another dot because I just can't get enough, clearly. So I'm just going to go in for another dot and try to concentrate it on that high point of the cheek. Yeah, I love how that looks right now. We are going to go in with more concealer, so it is going to calm down the shade a little bit. But for now, let's go into our bronzer. This is the Lifter Sticks by Maybelline. I'm going to use the shade 80 to bronze. I keep my bronzer like on the sides of my face. I don't bring it too much to the top of my forehead near my hairline because my hairline is pretty low. My forehead is pretty small, so I try not to bring it in too much, but I do it along the sides of my face and down my nose just to give my face a more bronze look. I noticed that I did draw these lines pretty crooked, but I just used my fingers to sort of clean it up and blend it and guide the product into the area or the direction that I need it to go. So it's a very easy fix. This product is extremely blendable and I really do love it. I recently purchased this and it's a newer launch from Maybelline. I might get the lighter shade to try highlighting with it and see that how it works out. But so far with the bronzing, it's really nice. So I went in with a lighter concealer. That is the Natasha Denona. The shade will be down in the description. My girlie, one of my girlies, I did recommend this concealer, which I do love it. I do wish I got a darker shade though. I think I might get a darker shade actually because I do like the formula. It's really smooth, it's thin, it's not too cakey. It's that girl, I really do like it. So I'm just blending out my concealer with this fluffy brush that was from that Real Technique set. I've never really blended my concealer with a brush this fluffy and sort of not flimsy, but like loosely packed. And it was such a nice blend with that brush, girl. That's gonna be my new tool. Actually, I have a few new tools. I need to make a video. I recently got PR package from BK Beauty, and they have luxury makeup brushes. And if you know me, I tend to stay on the affordable side of brushes. I get a lot of my brushes from Amazon, but I do have their brushes, and I'm gonna test it out and see what the hype is all about. When you apply like your cream and liquid products, like I just can't wait to get to the powder because the liquid and cream, when you apply it, it just looks like melted makeup. It looks like it's about to slide off of my face, but wait until I bring out my powders. But for now, we'll blend. We'll blend until we get to that step, which is the powder's my favorite step because it makes me look smooth, together, snatched, whatever the words you're using right now. Because I can't keep up, girl. I really can't keep up. I'm doing this voiceover at like almost 2 in the morning. I'm trying to whisper. My voice is cracking, but bear with me, girl. So this is the first setting spray that I sprayed. This is the Makeup Revolution matte setting spray. And I'm just going to press it into the skin before I do the setting powder. It helps keep the makeup on for a long time and looking nice. So first we're going to set with the Love This powder. This is the MAC Studio Fix Blur Pro, what is it? Pro Set Blur. That's in the shade medium deep. I'm going to put a thin layer under my eye and just set everything and smooth everything out. Look at that. Do you see that? Do you see the thinnest amount of powder completely smooth my under eye so beautifully? I love this shade. It's a very natural shade. It does brighten me a little, but it isn't excessively bright. We're going to go in with another powder though. But for now, we're going to go ahead and set it with this MAC Studio Fix Loose Powder. Pro Set Blur is that girl. I'm telling you. I love this powder. So now that we've lightly set it, I can go in with a heavier amount of powder and bake essentially. If you have oily skin, this is good. If you have like dry skin, I don't think it's necessary for you to overly powder your face. So if you don't have oily skin, definitely skip this particular step. But if you do, you can afford it. Okay, so I'm just going to put a bunch of powder on my face and let it just hang out. I'm not going to blend it until we are almost done with the makeup. It's just going to kind of hang out. So don't be distracted and don't be afraid because it's going to get better. So we're going to go in with our powder product. So now I'm going to do my powder blush. This is the NYX Buttermelt Blush in Butter Than Before. It's a raspberry pink shade. I have a little on my brush there. You can see how pink it looks. And we're going to take this on the high points of the cheek, the same areas that we put the liquid blush. How gorgeous is this color? Such a beautiful color, very girly, perfect for the type of look I want to go for, which is a pretty and pink, fluffy and cute makeup look. I just made that up. I don't know what else to call. I mean, I guess we can call it blush marshmallow. Actually, we can probably do that. So now we're just gonna go through the brows. You know, when you do your makeup, sometimes the brows get a little bit lost. The product for me had gotten lost with all the powder that I've just put on. So I'm just reshaping the brows. They look really good. It looks really soft and I love a good brow moment. Your brows have to be together because essentially it is the frame to your face. Now I'm going to set the bottom part of my face with the NARS powder in the shade Seafront. So I'm just buffing that into the skin. We're still going to let the setting powder just hang out there and sort of absorb as I complete the makeup because we still do have to do the eyes. Okay, so that is the bronzer. I'm going to put that bronzer into the crease of my eyes, sort of like the transitional color, and also bring it down the contours of my nose. So that's what I'm doing here with a fluffy crease brush. I'm just going to lightly sweep that down my nose to set the cream bronzer that we put there earlier to contour the nose. So I'm just setting it with that powder. And now we're going to go into the Candy Shop palette by Juvia's Place and grab that very pale, almost white pink. And I'm only going to place this at the beginning or the inner portions of the eye. So I'm just going to lay that down and I'm just using patting motions. I'm not going back and forth because I don't want to shear it out. I want to get the most color payoff. And when you want that, all you do is just pat the color in place. You don't go back and forth. You only do that if you want it to be sheer and not as opaque. If you need the color to be intense, you would go through and pack it. So now I'm going to grab that pink color and I'm going to overlap it with the lighter shade. So that's what we're doing, just overlapping the pink. So now a hot pink looks more wearable. It doesn't look like I'm doing too much, you know what I'm saying? So even though these are bright colors, there's a way that you can apply it to make it wearable. And for me, I'm just overlapping it with that lighter pink and just softly blending it And now I went back in with that same crease color, the bronzer that we used, and I'm sweeping the edges just so it looks more blended and it's a nice transition, and it gradually fades into the crease without any harsh lines, because we don't like that. I don't like that. So now let's bring some of that pink into the bottom lash line. Okay, so now we're just gonna place some of the pink there. We're gonna blend it out and, you know, get the under eye together, but we're gonna put some of that pink to just tie everything in very softly, not harsh at all. And now I'm gonna grab that shimmery glitter shade and use my finger and just press it on top of the color. So it gives like a shimmery wet effect. And I think this is such a pretty look, and at night this is gonna look gorgeous. Like on a little date night, you're out by the beach, you know, the light shining on you, girl, the little bit of glitter twinkling in your eyes, you know. Now I want to bring some more depth to the lash line, so I'm just using a black eyeliner pencil. I think this is called Black Magic by LA Girl or LA Colors. Extremely affordable, probably about $3. I got it from Ulta. So I'm just going to place that on the outer part of my eye. So I'm just placing that line there, and then we'll go in with an angle brush and sort of smudge it, because I don't want it to be too defined. I just want it to thicken the lash line a bit. So I'm not doing like a cat eye or anything like that. So here I am with the brush, just sort of blending it out and guiding the pencil into the direction that I need it to go. Okay. Guys, this eye look is really gorgeous. It's so pretty and girly. The glitter at first, I was like, should I put this glitter on top? But it really does tie it in. And for a Valentine's Day look, this is absolutely gorgeous, especially when we add the lashes. We're gonna add the lashes. Yeah. Now, I was barely in the frame. I couldn't even, it's very hard to do lashes on camera. So I wasn't even in the frame most of the time. So yeah, you'll just pretty much see the lashes just all of a sudden be on. Well, there's one and there's the other. Okay, so it's not much of a tutorial on this portion of it, but yeah, I did my best. So this is the look with the lashes on. I'm just going in with my blush brush and just tapping it on my cheeks just to get some of the residue that was left on there before back on my cheeks. All right, so now we're grabbing a smudger brush, which was from that Real Technique brush set, and we're just gonna bring more of that pink on the bottom lash line. Super girly. I just love how this looks. It just came out so well. And I'm gonna use the crease brush that had the bronzer shade on it and brush through and sort of blend out or blow out the pink. Okay, and now we're gonna line our eyes with the black only on the outer portions. Okay, with the Black Magic LA Girl or LA Colors rather eyeliner pencil. And of course, you're gonna go ahead and smudge that out because you want it to look soft, slightly smoky, but just with the pink. And the eyeliner just brings a little bit more depth to the eye and definition. So I didn't do anything harsh. I'm just blending it out. I feel like anyone can do this look. It's great for beginners because it isn't too defined. If you take your time, you'll be able to achieve this. I'm sure. So now I'm just putting a little bronzer on my face just to bronze up my face and also help dust away some of the excess powder. But the powder has started to absorb into my skin. It doesn't look as powdery as it did before. So it's kind of just trying to absorb. And now I'm just doing some finishing touches. Like I'm going back in with the blush and adding more blush to my cheeks because I love blush clearly. After this, I need to go in and add some glow. So this is the Lumi Le Glace. It's a balm or a highlighting balm. And I grab it on my finger. The best way to apply this is probably with a beauty sponge. I like it with a damp beauty sponge, but I don't know, I just grabbed my finger and I'm just tapping it right on the high points of my cheek. It's a beautiful sheen, non-glittery. It just gives you a sheen, almost like a wet look, and it highlights you and makes you have like a healthy glow. And that's what I really love about it because it has no shimmers. Absolutely love it. So now I'm going in with a foundation powder. With the brush, I'm just tapping NC50 by MAC. It's the Studio Fix powder. And I'm just highlighting under the eyes. It also gives more coverage because it is foundation. But I just want the under eyes to look flawless and highlighted. And this is a really great technique if you want a full coverage under eye. Just like that. Full beat glam. You know what I'm saying. I'm just tapping that on. Now let's get into lips. That is Maybelline Lifter Liner in the shade Cross the Line. And I'm going to go ahead and line that. It's a really nice brown, really good for my skin tone. I would say dark and deep dark skin tones would be able to use the shade Cross the Line. So now we're going to mix these two Glossy Bomb Plumping Sticks by ColourPop. That's the shade Vacay Mode. You see it's almost done. Obviously I love it. So I'm going to put that shade on first. Look at that sheer wash of color. So pretty. I just love it. I've been loving lip products where you can still see your lip shining through, but it gives you that nice wash of color. I think that's super sexy, and I just, that's my vibes. And now I'm adding the shade Guava Glaze, which is more of a pink shade. So I'm just adding that onto it. And I think this shade really ties everything in. The e.l.f. candy coated lip oil, it adds that tiny bit of shimmer. So it ties in the eyes with the lips, and everything looks really cohesive, and it looks well thought out because it was. And we're gonna go ahead and set everything with the Infallible 3-second mist. This is a alternative to the One Size Until Dawn. It's a lot less expensive, and it does just as good of a job. Okay, so it keeps you matte and keeps your makeup on. Okay, so now that we did the setting spray, we can now add the mascara. This is my least favorite step in makeup. I really don't even like mascara, but sometimes you need it. But this is the face, guys. Like, this is what it came out like. There's the bottle of the blush Marshmallow. Do you think I nailed it? I really feel like I did. I think it embodies that bottle. It embodies the smell, a girly, fluffy, pink, sweet girl next door fragrance that is addictive, and people are going to want to smell it. They'll want to embrace it. They'll want to know more about it. They're going to want to know who you are, and you just are a gorgeous girl. Okay, kitty, so that was the completed look. Hopefully you enjoyed that tutorial. If you think this is a good idea to combine my makeup tutorials and combine them with my fragrances, I think it's a great idea to give you a look that kind of describes the vibe of the fragrance. And I don't know, you have to let me know in the comments if you want to see any future tutorials based off the fragrances that I review, because I think it would be a good idea, but you have to let me know what you think. Please be active in the comments, because without the comments, I'm kind of in the dark, girl. I don't know what's going on. If it's not in the comments, I don't know. So definitely leave that in the comments. If you like the video, be sure to thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and you have to come back and watch another video. It's time